What if some of the most powerful remedies in history were not invented in laboratories, but grown quietly in monastery gardens? What if the cure for infection, pain, even anxiety once thrived in soil turned by hand under candlelight? It sounds improbable, almost romantic, yet medieval herb lore shaped the foundation of modern pharmacology. Imagine walking through the physic garden of a Benedictine abbey, rows of sage, rosemary and yarrow releasing sharp fragrance into the morning air. In the writings of Hildegard of Bingen, herbs were not superstition, but carefully observed medicine, tested through trial and experience. Monks and healers recorded symptoms, dosages, preparation methods, building a quiet archive of botanical knowledge. You know, we often picture medieval medicine as crude or dangerous. And yes, it had limits. But hidden within that era were remedies so effective that modern science later rediscovered and refined them. The real mystery is not whether medieval herbs worked. It is how much of that knowledge we dismissed, only to circle back centuries later in search of answers growing wild at our feet. During the Middle Ages, monasteries functioned as hospitals, pharmacies, and research centres. In places like Salerno, home to the renowned Schola Medica Salernitana, scholars translated ancient Greek and Arabic medical texts while adding their own botanical observations. Trade routes carried spices and medicinal plants across continents, blending European, Middle Eastern and North African traditions. Monastic herbals carefully illustrated plants such as willow bark, known for easing pain long before aspirin was synthesized. Gardens were designed with intention, divided into sections for digestive aids, wound healers, and calming tonics. Knowledge passed from healer to apprentice through demonstration. A leaf crushed between fingers, a root boiled slowly over fire. While superstition sometimes mingled with science, practical results determined survival. If a salve stopped infection or a tea soothed fever, it was recorded and repeated. Over generations, patterns emerged. Medieval herb lore became a living laboratory, shaped not by theory alone, but by daily necessity and observation. So, how were these remedies prepared, step by step? Imagine a healer harvesting calendula at midday, when essential oils peak under sunlight. Timing mattered. Leaves were dried in shaded lofts to preserve volatile compounds. Roots were scrubbed, sliced thin, and simmered into decoctions to extract deeper properties. You know how tea releases flavour in hot water. The same principle applied, but with careful control of heat and duration. For wound care, garlic was crushed to activate allicin, a natural antimicrobial, then blended with honey, itself a preservative and antibacterial agent. Salvies combined rendered animal fat with infused herbs, creating a barrier that protected skin while delivering plant compounds slowly. Dosage was measured in pinches, cups, or spoonfuls, refined by experience. Some mixtures were fermented, increasing potency and shelf life. The secret was synergy. Herbs were rarely used alone. They were paired strategically, one enhancing absorption, another reducing inflammation. This layered approach mirrored modern combination therapies. Beneath the simplicity lay an intuitive grasp of chemistry, discovered not in labs, but through centuries of careful experimentation. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Today, researchers analyze medieval manuscripts and rediscover formulations with surprising effectiveness. Studies on garlic-based salves echo remedies recorded in monastic texts. Willow bark, once brewed in humble kitchens, led to the development of aspirin. Even mindfulness practices tied to herbal rituals align with modern stress reduction therapies. The lesson is not to abandon modern medicine, but to recognize that resilience often begins with accessible knowledge. Growing a small herb garden can reconnect households to basic remedies for minor ailments. Understanding plant properties encourages preventative care rather than reactive treatment. In a world dependent on complex supply chains, rediscovering local medicinal plants offers a form of self-reliance. Of course, scientific validation and safety remain essential. Yet the medieval approach reminds us that observation, patience and respect for nature produce powerful results. Blending ancient wisdom with modern testing creates a bridge between eras, where tradition informs innovation rather than competing with it. Medieval herb secrets were never meant to replace progress. They were born from necessity, nurtured by curiosity, and preserved by those who believed that nature held answers waiting to be understood. In candlelit scriptoria and quiet gardens, healers documented patterns of relief and recovery, building foundations that modern pharmacology would later refine. Imagine the quiet confidence of a medieval healer offering a carefully prepared tonic, trusting generations of recorded experience. That confidence was not blind faith. It was accumulated evidence. Over time, as industrial medicine advanced, much of that botanical intimacy faded from daily life. Yet the plants remain. They still grow in fields and forests carrying compounds science continues to investigate. The deeper lesson is balance. Innovation thrives when it remembers its roots. By exploring the overlooked wisdom of medieval herb lore, we do not step backward. We expand our perspective. And perhaps in that expansion lies a healthier, more resilient future. If this journey into forgotten gardens sparked your curiosity, continue exploring, because history often hides its most powerful remedies in plain sight. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned